So what is this specific worksheet talking about? And for each of these companies, you probably have, I mean, our data, the data sets that I've shown you. And what is this output? It will contain companies, it will contain topic codes, it will contain and people mentioned in this each of this news item. What I've shown you here is state space models. Funds in the in our space, at least that we have seen, they take news as one of the biggest component in their trading decisions. The data sets, especially the news data sets, come in these formats. Now, what are these formats? These formats are, it could be JSON, it could be XML, it could be anything, but these are typically manufactured so that a program can read this data. So everybody has some mental model of news. Maybe you have a mental model of news where you know that there is some headline, there's a body, there's a date, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to programmatic consumption of news, there are uh, some things which are very specific to programmatic consumption. What are those specific items? So if you look at this, and where is NLP coming in? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is every data set that we speak here will have an NLP element, and it will also give you a sense of where NLP is being used and how these products are being created in the first place. So what is this specific worksheet talking about? Each row in this is a news item. So the first row here is a news item which is where there's a timestamp, there is a headline. What is the headline of the article? You also know what language is it written, and you also know some basic stuff like, okay, what is the source and what are the various subjects. So these are the subjects which are programmatically stamped on the news item. Why these are so programmatically stamped and what is the use of it? Because if you have to filter based on Asia news items, if you have to filter based on metals and mining news, if you want to filter based on FX news, cryptocurrency news, how will you filter? You can't filter just based on keyword search. So the fact that there is metadata associated with this is a very good indication that you can filter these news items. A row in this specifies the company that has been mentioned. For example, here this is talking about a company called Innovent Biologics. For this Innovent Biologics, that specific article, what is the probability of negative sentiment, what is the probability of neutral sentiment, and probability of positive sentiment for this company in that article. And for each of these companies, you probably have, I mean, our data, the data sets that I've shown you, will give you a probability of positive sentiment, probability of negative sentiment, and probability of neutral sentiment. So this is a three-class probability, and based on whichever is high, either you get a -1 score or a 0 score or a 1 score. These are the data sets which are used by a lot of hedge funds. The reason being the signals are already baked in. They don't have to actually crunch the data to get signals in terms of sentiment. Somebody else is crunching the data and is assigning the data vendor is assigning sentiment. They can use those signals directly into the trading strategy. You have various dimensions of sentiment. You have optimism, fear, joy, violence, time urgency, long short. So again, this is slightly more nuanced uh, feed where you not only get a broad sentiment signal, but you also get, let's say, you can think of these as micro sentiments if you use the word. Essentially, what this is doing is instead of bucketing everything into sentiment, you are getting a very specific term-wise sentiment, volatility sentiment, production volume, especially for something like commodity, production volume, consumption volume sentiment. These are all very important. Taking a bunch of articles, news items, and running to this engine, tagging engine. And once you run this in each news item into this tagging engine, each of them will give you an output. Now, what is this output? It will contain companies, it will contain topic codes, it will contain and people mentioned in this each of this news item. So each news item there will be a output file. Okay, so think about let's say you have about 250 news item, which is what I'm going to show because it's probably easy to showcase that. And once you run this about 200 documents through this engine, What you're seeing on my screen is it has identified, these are basic summary stats. It has identified 400 companies. It has identified 166 people. It has identified 81 organizations, so on and so forth. What you're seeing on the right-hand side is it has identified these relations, company affiliates, acquisition, joint ventures. And here what you're seeing is the mapping. When I say mapping, represents the mapping that is done to each perm ID. I'll show you what that means in a second. But at a high level, the way you have to digest this is that you're taking news items here, you're running it through an engine, and then you get a sense of, okay, what are the entities mentioned? What are the relationship mentioned at a high level? These are the kind of data sets where extracting alpha is not straightforward. You don't see numbers here where you can just go and say, okay, this number has gone down, this number has gone up. No, it's not like that. It's a text. Most of the sentiment data that comes out of any place, whether you crunch yourself, whether you take data set from a vendor, it's going to be like this. It's going to be high frequency, it's going to be noisy. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a simple filtering method, which is a Kalman filter. So these kind of filtering techniques are very common in quant space. What I've shown you here is state space models. It's called Kalman filter, and there are a variety of state space models. If you have sentiment, how is sentiment being used in various trading strategies? People are using it to first do an overlay of sentiment on prices. You can do sophisticated like a granular causality type of analysis to find out whether sentiment analysis is useful at all for the asset that you're looking at.